think there's been a lot of talk about how well connected and how much like a family the Scottish team is, and I kind of forgot that, but then this weekend's kind of like sparked it again. It was so much fun in Birmingham, and I know that, you know, the guys in the team, like, there's so much potential in this team, and I do believe that like this is going to be the best Scottish team we've ever had, and you know, I think we're all just rooting for each other and we're going to push each other on, and it's been so good this weekend to kind of form those connections and kind of get ready for the games in a few weeks.
So I don't think we'll need to do much motivating for them. Some of that takes care of itself because the environment will lend itself to that. So overall, we're really going for it, to be honest with you. You know, we want to. We're not setting any exact performance outcome targets, but we want to try and be the best Scottish swimming team that's ever been at a Commonwealth Games.
Go on. Following hosts Victoria pulling out of hosting the 2026 Commonwealth Games, the future of the Commonwealth movement looked to be at risk. That was until Glasgow stepped in. Scotland provided an alternative vision for the Games and a genuinely replicable model for its future. A streamlined Games were announced with 10 sports included over 4 host venues. Swimming was one of the 2 essential sports in the Games, and as such was included in the 10 spots. Follow us on a journey over the past 12 months as the swimming group begins to build for a home Games. From initial gatherings to team selection and announcement, to final preparation before Glasgow, let's look at the journey to the Games for Scotland's swimmers. This began with a gathering in Glasgow, 10 months out from the Games.
So we had one in September last year, which was bringing together a longer list of athletes on the day of our awards dinner, and that was really to start creating, I guess, a team culture around being on the Scottish team. It's quite a unique moment in time where most years athletes will be aiming to represent Great Britain, and it's the first time since Birmingham 2022 where they get to represent Scotland. So we wanted to really capitalise that and start building that Scottish team rather than kind of the Great British team. So we had that in September. December at short course we again had another session just building on that and starting to get the athletes to think about what they want the team to look like, what the athletes want from the support staff and the coaches, as well as the first time to bring the actual coaches, support staff, team management together and start to think about how we operate as a team.
Well, firstly there was an aspirational element to that, to try and get that wider group of athletes who could make the team and get them to think, well, you're being recognised as someone who could make it, and we want to bring it together, get a little bit of excitement around it, and get them thinking about it in maybe a slightly different way, give them some information. Not that we had a lot of information at that point, but it was a chance to just establish contact point with them. Some of them don't or didn't know me at that time all that well. Some new people into the mix, as there always is. So it was a chance to bring them in. We've got people who are in the Scotland team who are not just based in the main towns of Scotland that we know about, but live slightly further afield. So we want to bring them into the fold. We linked it to the Scottish Awards evening. We did another little get-together, not a long one, in December, just to provide a bit more information, and we got the athletes to talk amongst each other about what being on the Scotland team means to them. You know, one of the interesting things that always comes out of that, those types of discussions, is the athletes talk about how, particularly ones who've experienced both a Scottish and a British team, they always love the British team as well, but they say that the Scotland team sometimes means that a little bit extra to them.
After initial meetings and team building, it was time to start putting together a team worthy of a home Games. Duncan Scott, a 13-time Commonwealth medalist, and Angharad Evans, a supreme breaststroke talent, were pre-selected following performances at the 2025 World Aquatics Championships.
Yeah, and they're two of the
the bigger, if not the biggest names within the team, and certainly high profile at the moment, given the form that they're in. And they were pre-selected on the basis of making an individual final at the World Championships last summer.
It's a really special moment to me. I think I've had a wild roller coaster in the sport, from not being on a single team to making the Olympics and now going to my first Commonwealth Games. And I just feel like it's a perfect moment. It's half an hour down the road. The Scottish fans are the most supportive, arguably. And yeah, it's a really special moment for me. Exactly, I'll take second to Duncan Scott comfortably, but to be the first female on the team is a really special moment for me. I think, it's not just taking the pressure off to qualify, but also it just gives me a lot more confidence in my swimming and my ability. And it just makes me want to go and make Scotland proud at Commonwealth.
Also selected was Ben Higson, who was appointed head coach of the group. The current lead coach of the high performance programme at the University of Stirling, Ben made his international coaching debut at Glasgow 2014.
It's an absolute honour and privilege to be part of Team Scotland again, and I think back to Glasgow 2014 with some really fond memories. My first senior international coaching experience, and the way in which the games went for the swimming and the way the crowd was and how electric it was. Can't wait to get back there. There's going to be opportunities across the pool and across the events to really challenge for podiums, but most importantly, do their nation proud.
The main selection for the team took place in April 2026 at the Aquatics GB Swimming Championships. This was the one chance for Olympic pathway swimmers to make the team. With selection at stake, it was a meet of high pressure and emotions.
Keen for it to come out nice and early, so the athletes knew exactly what they needed to do, as well as the coaches, so they could all work towards that. April at the AGB trials was the opportunity for the Olympic athletes to qualify for the team, so there was a series of times that they needed to hit to be put in consideration for that. So that was the purpose of going down to London to qualify for the Commonwealth Games.
The other swimmers will wait until the trials in April at the British Championships, which is the only other point that they can be added to the team, and they'll have to earn their right to do so through that process and hit the nomination. They'll have to hit the nomination time that we've set for them, which is quite a high level. It's usually based around 6th to 8th place in a Commonwealth ranking sense, that if you're hitting those times, you should be thinking about making finals at Commonwealth Games, if not achieving a higher level than that. And that's the level that also CGS require from us as well. So it is nominations by us, and ultimately CGS accept those nominations or not. But we look forward to that. We know we've got 25 able-bodied places guaranteed for the event, so we're hoping we'll get at least 25 swimmers achieve a nomination time. If we have less, it'll be less. If we have more, it'll mean some difficult conversations. There isn't a guarantee that we can up that number.
Throughout the week, swimmers began to hit nomination times, with the squad taking shape over the 6 days of competition.
Yeah, it did. I mean, even from the heats this morning to tonight, the pressure was just so much lower than it was coming into the meet. This was the event I felt like I could do it in. I was most confident to do the time in, so yeah, I'm just really pleased and proud of myself that I did that on day one. Yeah, can't complain with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw the kilt being released, the tartan the other day, and that obviously sent shivers down my spine a bit. Give me the tingles. I'm really excited for that. Just missing out in 2018 for that 2022 for that Birmingham team. I obviously really wanted to be there, but now that it's a home games, that's really special. And I get a lot of stick for it with the boys at home just because they're all English and I'm the only Scottish lad. So yeah, obviously just really excited for that. Like you said, got that swim under the way, so I can kind of park that and now focus on that Europeans.
I'm really happy. As you say, I've kind of had to wait until it's Friday now, day 4. I only started racing yesterday, so this morning I was a bit nervous because I still haven't got a time. So I'm really happy to just hopefully put my name in the mix now and then see what Sunday brings. So yeah, it was good.
Whilst the Olympic pathway swimmers were sweating, Scotland's para swimmers had already booked their place onto Team Scotland. Their selection was decided based on their ranking across select para events and saw a strong group of 7 swimmers selected in what is a fully integrated para programme at the Games.
The para process was slightly different. That's invitational, and that was completed at the end of February, and it was all based around rankings that they sit within the events that are in the Commonwealth Games for specific classifications.
The events for the para swimmers are set in advance, and they qualified through their rankings and get invited if they're in the appropriately placed in the Commonwealth ranking. So that some of them have a slightly different event profile than they might do in a para-specific meet. For some, that coincides with it being their best event. For some, it's maybe a slightly different event that they would normally race.
Yep.
But generally, you know, they're used to the event. It's not like they're thrown into something they're not used to, but it's that some of the para swimmers have 1 race, some have 2 races, some have 3 races.
Yep.
But yeah, we've got some real experience in there. I think the 7 para athletes on the team, 4 of them have been to a Paralympics.
Yeah, I think back then I probably thought I was a lot more mature for my age than I was. I didn't quite appreciate how big an opportunity that was for me. And now going into Glasgow, it's so weird to have guys that I've swam with since I was a young age be joining me on this team. And I'm really excited for almost a different experience where I've got a bit more experience under my belt and I can look out for those guys joining the team for the first time.
But of course, it's not just about the athletes. A team is made up by much more than that.
They're like vital, the support staff, to our preparations and the performance at the Games. So in the core team, we've got Neil Shanks, who's our physical preparation coach, and he'll manage the prep space during the Games, but he is embedded within the University of Stirling programme, where a lot of our athletes will be coming from, so we know him really well. We've got Aid Campbell, who's going to provide a general sort of sports science role at the Games, as well as supporting with analysis, and again he's embedded within the Stirling programme and leans across physiology for Scottish swimming. We've got Alan Davidson, our filming expert, who will be in the stands the whole Games, capturing all the footage, and we've also got 2 physios, so Jessie Castillo and Kerry O'Hara, to provide athletes with that kind of recovery and any injury maintenance. Well, yeah, I mean, it can be huge. It's obviously in the build-up, they're working with them on a daily basis, whatever area expertise they have to try and improve that athlete's performance. And then I think a big part of the support staff's role at a trials or at a Games is with the coaching staff to provide that kind of steady ship and that good environment for them to be able to do what they need to do. As we said before, don't get too high, don't get too low, and just being able to provide that reassurance to the athletes and that space for them, an opportunity to be able to perform. So whether that's supporting them with their physical preparation routine, pre-race routine, whether that's providing analysis that identifies what components of the race they might need to change, or whether it's like doing some general physio work on them to make sure they're in the best possible condition. It's quite wide ranging.
The team behind the team essentially is full of extraordinary people that work tirelessly for the athletes and for the coaches to ensure not only are the athletes on the block in a fit and healthy state, but also from a data perspective of providing the coaches with information so that when they're preparing for finals we can make tweaks and changes when required.
Yeah, so my name's Neil Shanks. I'm currently the National Physical Prep Lead for Scottish Swimming and have been for the last 10.5 years. My job is to help support alongside the technical coaches and the other support staff to physically prepare the swimmers to perform at their best. Yeah, there's been a couple of swims for me, like obviously I support on a day-to-day basis the guys at the University of Stirling. I think Hang Harrod was one that we probably tried something different just to try and see if that kind of method worked. We tried a kind of priming routine with her a few days ago, which was something different, and I think the success of her swimming well was a nice kind of confidence boost, mainly for her. Other people as well, like Evie Davis moving on that 100 freestyle was brilliant, and we've seen other opportunities across where people have just converted and came together at the right point in time to swim well. So I think for me it's always being able to see people progress well based on all the work that they've done. It's just a really proud moment to see that.
I think all of the races have been really exciting to watch. We've had some really close races here. And then there's been a few athletes that I've treated beforehand and then they've gone on to swim really well, so that's been quite rewarding. So really looking forward to that. It's come quite last minute for me, so I'm a little bit of a sub-in, but yeah, really looking forward to getting to know the team and working with them up to the games. Obviously it's the home games and I live in Glasgow, so that's going to be really cool and really fun to see the atmosphere and see the swimmers do their best there. I'll be inputting with the team a little bit more in the week, so travelling up to Stirling and Edinburgh to treat some of the athletes there.
So obviously in the lead up to, we support the athletes in the lead up to the games in terms of their readiness, whether it's both from an injury perspective or just an ongoing management perspective. I think here at the Games, physios often provide a nice role in terms of we're in the warm-up area all the time, so it's not only the physio skills in terms of getting them on the bed, but it's also supporting them with whatever needs they may have and seeing them along the journey across this 6 days. Definitely, I think it's not only the stuff that we do on the bed that is super important and can make a big difference, but the conversations we have with the athletes, whether they've had a good race or a bad race, really important that you're there for them in terms of supporting them. The team in Stirling have been really good and we work closely with them across both their injuries, so super important that we were there and really nice to see their resilience into the two back and both get a qualification.
Yeah, boy!
So yeah, it's been awesome working with these guys, and yeah, just across the board, I think we've seen some really good results in Scotland.
Following a month of nervous wait, swimmers were finally announced onto Team Scotland, completing a 33-strong swimming and para-swimming group.
That was a relief to do the 50 straight up. I was just really excited to have done the time and just be able to then enjoy the rest of trials and you know, obviously then spend the next week after trials. I didn't assume that I was on the team, but I was feeling fairly confident, and then to get that confirmation, yeah, just super excited and really happy about it. I actually think I won my first junior or age group medal in this pool, and I think I was in 8 or 9. I was on the outside, and it was in the 200 breaststroke of all events. So that was pretty cool, and nice. I guess important step in my journey.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first time I've been back in the pool since 2023. So it's good to know that my fastest times are set in this pool. I know this pool's quick. I know I can swim fast in it as well. So yeah, that gives me a lot of extra confidence as well, knowing that I've done it already, so I just need to replicate it again. I'm from Glasgow, I'm a proud Glaswegian as well, even though my accent's kind of gone, but yeah, it's an extra added element as well of this home games for me. It's a home city games, so I've raced in this pool so many times, and my house is only 20 minutes away, so there's an extra home feeling as well for me, which brings a lot of motivation because I know my family will be in the crowd, my mates as well can come along. It's not as far of a commute as it was for Birmingham, but there's a lot of relief, but also a huge amount of excitement as well. Birmingham was such a good experience, but I just know this is going to be like, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like. I can try my best, but I know it's going to be totally different. The crowd's just going to be, it's going to be unbelievable.
It means the world to me. I've had a really tough couple months of training, really working hard towards Commonwealth Games, European Juniors, and my goal was to come top 5 in this, in the relay, a top 5 Scot, and to be able to be coming out of London, being 3rd fastest Scot is really something else. Last time I was here was 3 years ago, Scottish Open 23. I was speaking to it briefly with Evie, and I said I was a 55.7 the last time I swam here, and now I'm nearly 6 seconds faster, and being able to be that much faster is definitely quite surreal. But I've had some good memories in this pool, some not so great, but coming into the summer we're definitely looking to have great memories instead of bad ones.
I mean, it's pretty surreal, to be honest. I mean, making the Commonwealth Games is one thing, but then being here in Glasgow in Scotland and competing for Team Scotland here it's just a completely different thing. Very honoured, very privileged to be here right now.
And you actually have competed for Team Scotland before, but obviously in the youth games.
Yes.
What was that experience like, and do you think that will help you going into Glasgow as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being in that multi-sport environment, having to accommodate for all these different athletes, different schedules, racing and competing at different times, having to be respectful of when they're sleeping, maybe whatnot. Definitely help with the likes of this. I mean, that games was out in Trinidad and Tobago, so the heat was something else. That'll be something we maybe don't have to worry as much about here. A lot of travelling, and this will be a very familiar place. I mean, I've been here a lot during my swimming career, so yeah, it definitely will help.
Following on from a final few months of training and a team camp at the Scottish National Championships, swimmers came together as a complete team for the first time at preparation camp in Aberdeen, just 1 week out from the games.
So I think we were in Aberdeen for 6 days, and it's really a chance to, again, once you bring the whole team together, at some point you've got to say we are now the swimming team that's going to the games, and that camp represents that moment to do that. On this day we all come together, and then from that point on we're getting ready as a team rather than in our individual places, coming together as a team to do for the athletes to do their final phase of training. They get to do that in a great facility. They have all the support staff around them. You're taking away some of the issues they might have if they all stayed at home. You're creating a great environment with a hotel and, as I say, the support from the staff and others around them. So they've got what you'd hope is perfect conditions to do their final preparation. Of course, all their hard work for them is done by that point, and they're just fine-tuning and tapering off, as they would call it, or resting. So there's training, but there's downtime and relaxation time. They'll mix with each other, and we just take care of any little things. And there's a few things we've also got planned for that week.
Letting the excitement build a little bit is quite nice as well. Like, I think when we all get together next week in Aberdeen, it'll make it a little bit more real, and then when you get down to Glasgow it makes it a little bit more real, and kind of just taking that step at a time is quite nice. And yeah, kind of just getting ready to swim fast.
Introducing Lindsay Lewis, top team manager, keeps us all right and makes sure everything's in place for the team.
Thank you.
Prep camp going so far, Ollie?
Rubbish.
Rubbish.
No, good. Nice and relaxed, nice and smooth. Nice relaxed atmosphere. So yeah, I think everyone's happy.
I'm obviously looking forward to it. It's a new role for me this time. I was a coach on the team in the last two, and I really enjoyed those experiences. Just being part of it, and proud to be part of the Scotland team. It feels like a privilege and a duty and an honour to represent the country in this way. But I'm also really competitive, so I want us to do really well. But it is important to me that alongside the competitive side and the performance outcomes that we want to strive for, that it is everyone, as much as we can do, has a really enjoyable experience, not just me. It's important to me that everyone has an enjoyable experience. It's important to Commonwealth Games Scotland that all members of the team have an enjoyable experience, and then that creates friendships and networks and lifetime memories that people can reflect on and be happy about. I also want the team to be a happy team during the whole thing. We often hear people say a happy swimmer is a fast swimmer. So if you can create an environment, you know, as a staff that allows people to be happy, then hopefully performances is one of the things that will help performances be better. After that, the crowd will be behind them, or the large percentage of the crowd will be cheering the Scottish athletes on. People, one of the things we did at the recent get-together was allow a few of the group who had swimmers and staff who'd been involved in 2014, they shared some of their reflections from that games back then, and that was quite a powerful message about how they were inspired by the crowd, or it's one of the few occasions where you can hear the crowd when you're swimming. You don't always hear the crowd often, but it was just so loud, and you hope you know, you don't want to get overwhelmed by that, but you hope it's going to lift you, and it's a little bit of an unknown factor, but it's something to be excited about.
And now all that's left to say is good luck. Give it your all and wear that Scottish cap with pride.